and then if we navigate over, it's gonna bring in the current Bitcoin price and then our candlestick charts of all that information. So I think this is going back to 6/18, which is 12 days ago. So if we bring up a similar chart here, go back 12 days ago, 6/18 right there. So that's pretty, I mean, that's pretty much the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
right?
look at that.
So there you go. We're bringing in live ignition, live Bitcoin data into ignition, showing it on the XY chart. Everything's built into ignition. Pretty cool stuff.
What's up, everybody? My name is Derek.
My name is Casey.
And we're here to bring you a new perspective. This is episode 2 of the show where we talk about next-gen features in Ignition.
This week we are welcoming back our guest, Reese. Reese, how are you doing?
Hi there. Great. How are you?
We're doing all right.
Good.
So what's been going on since last time we hung out together on this wonderful stream?
Let's see. It's been like a month, huh?
Yes.
Actually, I think the last time we did this stream, I was in my brother-in-law's house on a tiny little desk. And now I'm on my own desk in my own place. And I actually just built this desk this past weekend. So
Did you?
I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah. It's kind of like, you can see it over here. It's like a butcher block look.
Oh yeah, look at
I
that.
stained it, walnut stain, did a clear coat on top.
Very
Got a nice big old pad here for a mouse. I'm all
Very
set and
nice.
ready to go.
It's awesome. Was it?
How many inches is that?
Yeah. How big
That
is
mouse
it?
pad.
What, the table?
Both.
The table is 5 foot long, so what's that, 72? Yeah,
Wow.
72
Okay.
inches. Because I wanted to have room for my laptop, big monitor, a 43 incher, and then my personal / gaming laptop sits over there. So, room for all of it. Got my setup.
Much room for activities.
I was thinking the same thing.
Oh no. Oh, that's awesome. I actually have a butcher block desk as well that I built last year.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think somebody else at Flexware also built a butcher block table in the last week as well. And
know,
none of
it's-
us coordinated it.
We didn't. No. And it's cheap. Relatively cheap. You go to the
Yeah.
store, buy the stuff.
Compared
a
to like getting it off
30-inch mouse
Amazon
pad?
or something.
I have a big mouse pad as well.
I got
Oh,
mine
yeah.
off of Amazon. So,
That's where mine is from.
Yeah, same. Everything pretty much in this room is off Amazon.
yeah.
Thanks, Jeff Bezos.
Oh, Mike's
Yeah, that's
Shitfish
what's
says
new.
he's looking to build a butcher block desk too.
Mike,
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness, join the
do
club.
it. Yeah, mine's an L
That's
desk.
super easy.
Yeah.
If you give me your info, I can send you all the good stuff. No, I'm just kidding, all the links.
So, do you just have regular legs on yours, Reese, or do you have standing?
No, I have a standing desk. I got the standing frame, the cheap Chinese knockoff. It's $150 on Amazon, which is way cheaper than most of like the name brand stuff out there, like over 500. And then I just got some wood at
That is cheap.
Lowe's and finished it.
That's
yeah.
good. Yeah,
Nice.
mine. I wish mine was that cheap. Nice.
Well, mine is kind of, you can tell it's cheap because it only has the up and down button. There's no like set point on
I
it.
mean, that works for you,
So-
right?
It works, but it'd
Yeah.
be nice to have little set points.
Yeah, mine is an uplift. Not sponsored. I have the uplift frame that I went with. I only went with it because my husband also has it.
Oh, nice.
And it seemed to work out.
Twinsies.
Twinsies. But I used my custom top. Yeah.
Butcher block fan club.
And then Derek, weren't you saying that you were thinking about getting a tiny treadmill? Was that you?
Yeah. I want a
Okay.
tiny treadmill. Yeah.
So you can walk when you work, or?
Yeah. Get my steps in.
That's right.
I feel like I'd be on a video call and like I
Sweating?
would stumble and like fall off of it or something. Or like when I'm on the call, be like this the whole time, because I'm walking.
I mean, let's face it. I'm definitely gonna fall. But that's just me.
Customers are gonna be so confused at where you went. Oh my goodness.
Well,
Desks.
cool.
Well,
Good to catch up with you.
yeah.
for sure.
What
Good
are
to
we
be
doing
back.
this week? Yeah. What are you bringing us?
Well, let's see. I think we kind of left off some of we got quite a bit of like project structure to go. I wanted to get kind of a better taskbar, get a views going, like navigation between some different stuff. So that'll take some time up front there. Just kind of getting everything in order. I know we did a lot of styles and kind of some taskbars and layout stuff, but I wanted to actually get it more functional and create some screens and whatnot. So then the next thing I want to do is actually create some content on the screen. So I'm really excited about this one. I've been getting into crypto lately. Well, I shouldn't say lately. I've been getting more interested in it now that Bitcoin is dropping like crazy. Even as we speak, it's super low. It's like
Don't say
18.
that.
Well, that's super low compared to what it was. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see what happens if people watch this in 2 months or 3 months or whatever.
Oh my goodness.
But I've been getting back into crypto, and so I wanted to do a little bit of like API interfaces in Ignition with Coinbase. So that's kind
very
of what
cool.
I'm gonna do today. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good time.
I'll leave the rest of it for later. I won't spoil it.
Yeah. You think we're about ready to get into it then, or?
Yeah, we can.
Should we?
Certainly dive in.
All right.
All
Let's
right.
let's get switched over here
Alrighty.
to our side cam.
All right. You tell me when you're ready, Casey.
I
You see
think
the screen?
I can see it. It looks like our
Good
chat can
to
see it.
Go. All right. So this is the same server. I did change a couple things. So I actually changed the class, CSS class, to a new perspective, since that's what the stream is called. And I also changed, if I open the designer here, I also changed the project name to a new perspective. And the reason why I did that, that's the only difference between last time and this time. The reason why I did that is because of, like we mentioned last time, we're going to upload this project and the CSS files and everything to the Exchange on Ignition's website. And you guys can all download it, and heck, maybe in the future we can have some community involvement, bring some folks on, some people that have built some cool screens and want to show some stuff off. So all the resources that we're going to be building are all going to be available up there. So as I said, I named this a new perspective. So that's all I did different here. I already have it open, so I'm just going to close her out, and we can open up the designer. Just give a quick refresher here. I have another view open. So this is what we had done last week, right? We kind of created this taskbar, had some icons down here. These icons do absolutely nothing when you click on them. This one has a little cursor value on there. But when you open this, like, it
There it
has
is.
that frosted look and whatnot. So that was kind of like what we did last time, and using CSS and themes and whatnot. So I'm gonna flesh this out a little bit more, like I said, and then we're gonna go in and provide some content for the main page. So I'll go ahead and minimize that. So I think kind of the first thing is I want to create some pages to be able to navigate to. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and create a new folder that we can put all of our main pages in. So create that folder. And then I'm going to create a new view. And I'll just call it the home view. So this is like the default view that pops up, right? When we first open up the project, create that view. And I'm pretty much just going to do a text, I think, on here, just because I'm going to have this main view, and then I'm going to have my kind of Coinbase API view. So I'm going to be able to like switch between those two screens. That's kind of my vision for this. So I'm going to go ahead and drag a label out there. What was that?
Sorry, I got a quick question.
Yeah.
Actually, one second. Oh, we got someone in chat saying the music's just a tish loud. Hang on one sec.
Uh-oh.
I know who it is, but
The neighbors weren't yelling down the street at us.
thank you for letting us know. I thought I checked it and it sounded okay, but there we go. Sorry
Yeah.
about that.
Definitely
let us
appreciate
know.
that,
Yeah.
chatters.
Yeah, let us know if it is, if that's better. I turned it down a few decibels, so hopefully it's not too bad. It's really hard for us to. I can't tell how loud it is. Could be just you, probably. No, just kidding. What I was going to ask, Reese, is for those out there who maybe don't know what it is. What is Coinbase? Like what?
Oh,
You're kind of throwing
so
that term around.
I mean, we can jump right into it, I guess, right away. That's fine. So Coinbase is an online exchange. I don't know why I just pulled that up because that's something different I was going to show. But Coinbase is an online exchange. It's a pretty popular one out there.
Okay.
It's probably one of the bigger ones, where you can buy and sell cryptocurrencies. Mainly is what people use it for. So it's a pretty mainstream exchange. So you can do it. I think Casey, you'd mentioned that you completed like some
Yeah.
some free videos or something. You got some
Yeah.
free Bitcoin or whatever, but you can also transfer money from like your bank or whatever, and then use that kind of U.S. currency or whatever currency you're in to trade and buy Bitcoin and sell Bitcoin specifically. That's I pretty much just touched Bitcoin. There's tons of other cryptos, Ethereum, Doge. Someone on this call I feel like has Doge probably.
I think I have some of each.
But yeah, you can trade all those different types of cryptos. So
So are you
yeah,
able
that's
to
what
use this
Coinbase is.
API for free once you make an account, or do you have to have some kind of tiered subscription?
So you can use part of it for free, which is what I'm going to show today. But if you actually, you can use all of it for free. But if you want to like buy and sell with the API, then you have to create an account and like set up all the secure stuff and whatnot.
Gotcha.
I'm not going to dig into that today. I'm purely just going to be interfacing with the API and showing some stuff. So, but yeah, that's Coinbase.
Gotcha.
So anyways, back to this. I was just creating kind of a home screen here, so a new perspective. I literally just dragged a label on there. I think that looks good enough for my home screen. You guys can let me know out there if you want to add something else in there, but that's what I'm leaving for now. And then I believe, if I remember correctly, we had already created some container themes. So let me open this up. Yeah, so from last time we had a container theme, which was basically gave us our frost with this backdrop filter, if you guys remember. If you don't, you haven't seen it, go check out the YouTube video. It's out there. Shameless plug.
Derek can link the YouTube in our chat. There you go.
There you go. And then we kind of got rid of that gross looking shadow for the menu. So I want to actually just reuse this same style for this whole page as well. So I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna go to the root, go to my classes, and just type in container, and that's gonna change it. It doesn't look great on here because I have a white background, but our background of our whole view, if you remember, is kind of that cloud looking. Well, I can pull it up here. It's kind of this cloud looking thing, so it's kind of darker and it looks a little bit better. So that is, I just applied that container class. And once again, if you guys don't remember, all I did was, if you want to create a perspective style class in CSS, you have to do the PSC, which stands for perspective style class, dash, and then this container is what you put in the theming field here, or the classes field. So, yeah, so that should be good for a new page there. So now I want to create the ability to navigate to that page. So I'm just going to go ahead and save that, Control S, just so I have it. And then I'm going to go, I believe it was in the docs. Yeah, the taskbar here. The taskbar down below. And then we have the notifications that were up, kind of slid out from the left. I'm going to click that little button there, right? So I want to create or put that same theme on the taskbar as well. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Go to the root container of this taskbar, throw in classes here. Again, same thing, container. That's one thing, really nice thing about classes, you just can continue to reuse them. It's very handy. Now, those icons look kind of small to me, so I feel like I should maybe increase this a little bit. Let's go to like 65. It's a little bit better. Whatever, it works. And then I think I added just these random things in here, icons. We didn't really do anything with them, so I'm actually going to get rid of this one and this one while I'm in here because I don't want to use those. I'm going to have a home and I have my Coinbase API screen. So we're going to go here, add a click event on this guy, and I'm going to create my click event here, use a script, because we can do a lot of different things with scripting. Actually, this is interesting. I upgraded this. That's something else that's different between
Oh.
the last month
Oh.
and this month is Inductive Automation came out with a new version. So there's a lot of handy scripting functions and whatnot that are in the new 8.1.18. So one of those things is, so I'm going to do system.perspective. So you can do control space, and you see there's some different icons there. I'm going to do an autocomplete here.
It's awesome.
And then you can do, I'm going to do send message. So you can see it has a little bit more information than what it had previously. And it also has this icon that shows you like the difference of, is it a function? Is it like a class? Is it, that type of thing.
And then does this
So-
automatically come up, or are you hitting like control space or?
Control space.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
control space. Yep.
Wow. Bravo
Yeah.
to inductive automation. That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Kudos thrown their way for sure. So another cool thing, Derek, you're gonna like this. If you click this, it automatically populates that information in there, like the parameters that you pass in there.
Oh
And
my
so
gosh.
you
What a
can do,
time to
like-
be alive. That's amazing.
That is
so
so
you
cool.
can do
We're
like
getting
a lot of
spoiled.
time, it automatically populates that in there. So watch this. So once I start typing in here, it like message, and then I hit tab, and it pops to the next one. And
Oh
I'm
my
gonna leave this
gosh.
Oh my
payload, but
goodness.
you can change that to payload, and then hit tab again, and it goes to the end,
That is so
and then
cool.
off you go. That's super nice.
Oh, and then they have the
Wow.
lines in there, so you can see like
Yeah.
your
You can
indents
like
and
tab out, and start typing. Yeah,
tabs.
Wow.
pretty legit. They
Wow.
did. I think they're still working on some stuff, but it's
Sure.
definitely a great improvement.
Yeah, I haven't
Spoiling
touched it
us.
yet, so this is
Yeah,
awesome.
I haven't either. So cool.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll show you guys some more stuff later as we get into some project scripts. I'll dig into those later for the API call, but
Sure.
there's some other stuff in there too. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a message here that I'm going to send to the main page. And if you don't know what messages are, well, I guess you can Google them. The messages in Ignition, but a lot of times this is how I pass data around a page in perspective. And this allows me to keep it more modular. So I can create a view here, I can create a view over here, and then I just can send messages between the two kind of views. So that's exactly what I'm going to do here. So I have my message, what I'm calling it, and then a payload. You can put any type of data in here. All I want to do is put the view path in here. So I'm just going to create a JSON payload here, call it view path. And this is going to be, well, it'll be this guy, right? So I'm gonna right click on this, copy that path, pop over to here, put this in as a string, and that should be it. I think that's everything I need. So one thing that I like to do when I'm doing messages, so I don't have to open these back up, is I like to snip this, and then I have it for reference, so I remember what message I named this and the payload name. So I'm just gonna go and snip that really quick and drag that over. Have that handy for later. You'll see what I mean here in a second. So that's what I want. On my click of that icon, I want to navigate, or actually just send this message to the rest of the view. So I'm gonna hit OK there. And so now I was actually over here. Yeah. So now I have that guy, and then I want to actually copy paste this to create my Coinbase icon or navigation. So I don't know, maybe like a graph looking icon of some sort if this ever
Yeah.
loads.
Coin.
Chart or trending arrow or
Trend.
oh,
That works. To the moon.
Oh.
to the
rocket.
moon.
I'm going to change these bases to maybe like 50. Let's make these a little wider. That way they're a little more spaced out there. Looks good. By the way, if you can edit multiple I just did a control click, and now I'm editing those properties for both of those icons. So that's kind of a handy little trick if you haven't done that one before. I
Mhm.
think, I don't know if we did anything with this guy here. but I might just delete this because it doesn't actually do anything. So let's just leave that there. We can add it back in there if we want, but I kind of just want to leave the icons in there that actually are doing something,
Sure.
so it's not confusing to the user. And I think that looks good. So let's jump back to my main page is where I want. And what I want to do now is create a message handler from the icon that I just created. So those are tiny. My goodness, I have to look at those. Look at formatting after this. So on the embedded view on the main here, I'm actually going to create a message handler on this guy. Configure scripts. Add a handler. You just double click there. And this was because of my handy dandy little snip here. My message name is open page, and my payload parameter is view path.
And for the audience, this
So-
is the receiving side, correct?
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Yep. So we did the sending side, and now we're receiving that message. Open page, and then down here, what I want to do is I want to grab that view path and that payload and stuff it into my embedded view that I have open here. So I'm going to come down here into my props, and my path is going to now equal the payload that was coming in, and the keyword was view path. What'd you say?
Back to the snip.
Yeah. See, it's handy, I tell you.
It is.
Done this more than once.
At least once.
Yes. And I think that's all we should need. We got our handler that we're listening for on the click event, and then when we get that, we're doing something with the data that's being passed over. So I think that's all we should need. I'll hit OK there. And now if we try running this thing, let's see what happens. Yeah, so it's really hard to click, but you can see it just switched to a new perspective. That was the page I just made. That's awful. We'll get to formatting in a second. Actually, let's just do that right now. Sounds like a good plan here. So
Bothering you.
I'm gonna come down here. What'd you say?
I said it's bothering you, isn't it?
It really is.
You just want to do it now.
You know me. You know me.
Do
I
it.
do.
I'm a sucker for everything to be in the right spot.
Nice.
So what I want to do, I guess I could just increase the size. And I think what we had on the other one was, I guess we have 5 pixels of padding on the top and the bottom because of that container style, I'm pretty sure. And then I usually will make it 50 pixels tall. So 50 plus 60, I think. Let's just maybe go with 65, just for kicks. That was
There you
pretty
go.
good. I like that.
That's good.
So let's go ahead and let's create another page really quick here so that I have something to switch between when I'm doing my navigation testing. So I'm gonna create another one, and we'll call this one like Bitcoin tracker because that's what we're gonna build. Teaser. And then all I'm gonna do is add a little label on here that says Bitcoin tracker. And that way we have something to visualize that we actually switch the screen. And then I think the last thing we need to do, I don't believe I've updated the click event for this guy. So I'm gonna actually copy this, copy, paste, Control C, Control V, I'm going to grab that path, put that in here. And that should have kept my script, is what I was kind of hoping to do. So I just want to verify. I think I just have to change. Oop, not that one. Done that before too. Configure events instead of configure scripts. And this one should be our, let's see, what did I call this? Bitcoin tracker, no spaces. Okay, Bitcoin tracker. There we go. That should work. So we'll hit OK. and save. And that it's as simple as that really for this navigation, specifically what we just did to switch between screens. You just have to change that path that we're passing into that message, and then it's going to show up. It's going to show that new path that you just specified.
Okay.
Another thing that really bothers me is that these are not named. So I always like to name mine so you know what the icon's actually doing. So icon home, and then we'll do icon Bitcoin tracker. That way you know what you're looking at, so you don't have to click on it. You just can go right to it. Go ahead and save that, and I'm gonna actually bring up my. There we go. So that's the new page. That was the default. So I wonder if we click on this, sure enough, we switch to the Bitcoin tracker page. So we could navigate between those two pages, which is great. The one thing I don't love about this is there's no indication that you're like hovering or interacting with this icon. So I kind of like it to change like background color, change it to cursor, like have some indication to the user that we're actually gonna do something with that. It can do something, you know. So I want to create, I think, another style for all the icons that we have on here, and then we can just apply that style to every icon that we have in the project. So let's go back to, we did this last time, we're just gonna add some more information to this CSS sheet. So what I wanna do, I cheated again. I put some of this information in there so I wouldn't have to type it all out. So here's stream 2. I don't know, I just denoted it, but this is how you comment stuff out in CSS. I guess technically we should do like stream 1 up here as well, huh?
I like it.
And have this finish.
Yeah. Just working
that
smarter.
Way when people come in later, we can kind of see where the additions of stuff are. All right, so you can see this icon style. It has some padding around the inside, some margin around the outside. Change the border radius to 10 pixels. And then you'll notice this cursor pointer. You know, if you on top of that element, it's going to turn to a pointer. And then this transition all is kind of a handy little, is kind of a handy way to everything that we have, every element that we have in the CSS property, this transition is going to apply to. So we're going to do a 0.3 second transition for all these properties. And then the ease is saying we're going to ease in and not just like go straight to it. We're just going to, I think what ease means is like it goes really fast and then it slows down once it gets to the end.
Sure.
And same thing when you're going out, it goes really fast and, you know, slows down at the end. So just kind of a more elegant way to do it. And then this icon hover here, I think this is called like a CSS state, element state, I believe. So you'll notice that this CSS class is exactly the same as this one. I just added this colon hover. So on the state of a hover, when you're interacting with this, these different things are going to happen. So the background color is going to change. And then we're going to transition again, that background color, applying that into this guy. So there's other things like, I think there's like on click, there's hover. I think there's like mouse in and mouse out. There's a whole bunch of them. You can Google it, but that's the hover one.
Cool.
So off of that, we should just be able to grab this. Well, I have to save that first. I probably should have added this with our Notepad++. We'll see if it works here. I don't think it's going to, because we need admin privileges.
Can you save to the desktop and drag it in? That's what I usually do.
Yeah, I don't want to do that though.
Oh, rip.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, I'm gonna copy this whole thing again, and actually I'll just do Control A. Copy. Close that out. Don't save. And then let's go in here. Open with Notepad++. And this is gonna allow us to do all of that without having to, you know, save. It's one nice thing about Notepad++, pro tip. So I'm gonna hit save here, and I have to launch in administrator mode. Yes, I do. Hit yes. And now let's try saving. That should work. Yep. All right, so now that we have that icon style, let's apply it to our icons across the board there. So go back to my taskbar here. I'm just gonna throw this into my, now this, for some reason, icons don't have this classes field, so we just have to create it. I don't know why, I've always wondered why, but if you create it and then put that in there, that should work. So I'm just gonna actually copy this whole style and just apply that. This is all JSON, so you can just copy and paste everything. It's kind of cool and also kind of dangerous. Definitely mess some stuff up before doing this. And then the last one here, I'm gonna paste that guy. I actually don't need this cursor pointer anymore because it's included in my CSS style, right? So go ahead and paste that. And now, I don't think this is actually going to work in the designer. What we can see here, if we throw it into play, yeah, I probably have to import that style. But once we save, now if we come back to this, is usually where I test my theming. I'm gonna refresh this page, and now that style should come in. Oh no, it is a very small icon.
Oh, that is very small. Yeah.
I think I might need to get rid of the padding on the container. That's probably what's going on here. So let's do, if I go to the root container, and I'm gonna apply value, padding, I'm gonna set this to 0 pixels and save that. Now all the padding's inside the icons and outside the icons rather than in addition to the root container. So that should work. We'll see. There we go. That looks better. So now you can see, like, as I hover, it kind of changes colors there. They're all kind of the same feel. That slides out. Actually, that's kind of bothering me. I make that a little bit wider so it matches all of these. So that's like 50 pixels wide. Just add that tiny little tidbit there. Tidbit. 30 pixels. Change this to, I think the other ones were 50. Okay. So now that we have that, I think that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? We got that slide out.
Yeah.
We can switch between the pages.
I
Like if other people wanted to come in here and add a page, just add an icon, change the message to the view path, and off you go. Like, it should be pretty simple, I think. Oh, this is kind of gross. You can actually remove this. Let's do that too. So this is like a built-in perspective thing. It doesn't really do anything here. At least I've never found a use for it, so I always try to remove that. So you can do that by going to the perspective properties page here and scroll down to the bottom. We have the, where is it at? At bar. Position, toggle position, hidden. I don't want to see it, so we'll save that. That should update what we need there. Maybe. And you might have to refresh, yeah, because it's a session property. And I think that's it. I like how that kind of looks. It's kind of like a cloudy look in the background, you know?
Yeah, it looks awesome.
That looks really awesome.
So frosted, because it's the same frosted, you know? And that's the really cool thing about this style is, remember how we did the, oh, let's open it up. We had this, all the way at the top. So it's a filter, it's just gonna blur the background. So no matter how many of these you stack on top of each other, you're still gonna get kind of that delineation of the different containers that are stacked on top. So that's like, you have this one out there, and then now you can see there's obviously, you know, you can see where the menu's at. So that's kind of nice. I didn't really plan on that, I guess, but hey, it works. I like it. Okay, so I think that should pretty much do it. I guess any questions, thoughts in the chat? Anything I need to add?
See anything as of yet?
Cool. Well, let's go. So the next part I want to have is creating a page to navigate to, so you can switch between this. I actually want this to be like my Bitcoin tracker. I want to have information showing up there. So, but I'm going to take a step back here. So one of the big tools out there that people use when they're trading crypto is candle charts. And this trading view platform is again another popular kind of platform that people use when trading crypto. So inside trading view, you can use these candle charts, and these candle charts are a really easy way to show a lot of information. So the reason why it's called a candle is because you can see like this guy right here, you have kind of this main candle part and then these little what they call wicks. So it kind of looks like a candle up the top and the wick going out the bottom. And so what this is showing us is this is showing us in this segment. So right now we're on 15-minute segments here. You can also change it to hour. You can also change it to 4 hours. A lot of different options. I'm just gonna leave it at 15 minutes here. So in this 15 minutes, this lower wick shows us this is the lowest price that the coin was at during that 15 minutes. The high wick shows us the highest price. And then the actual candle itself shows you whether it was closing, what the close price and what the open price for that time period was. And it could the close could be at the top, or the open could be at the top. It just depends on if the trend was going up or down. So you'll notice that we also have colors for this, right? We have a white color, we have a red color. White means we are trending up, so the open would be at the bottom, close would be at the top. And this red one is the open. Well, the open would be at the top and the close would be at the bottom. So there's like 4, 5 different metrics that are shown in one tiny little piece. And so what I want to do is actually essentially recreate this chart within Ignition and Perspective and pull the candles from the Coinbase API and display them on the XY chart. So that's what we're going to do next. So I guess I'll stop there. Is there any questions on, did I explain that well enough? I know that's kind of a lot, but
You sound like you know what you're talking about, so I'm just gonna follow along as best as I can.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Sounds good. I'll keep on going then. I'm sure you can Google it or YouTube it and you'll get a lot better explanation than I just gave. But so let's go ahead and do that. So one of the first things that I like to do is when I'm creating API calls, I like to create scripts and scripts that I can test and also use in the project and in the view. So I'm actually going to create a new project library. And so I'm going to create a new script in this project library. And this, let's just call this one Bitcoin tracker. A lot of times what I like to do is create the name of the script as the same name as the page that I'm going to be using for that script, just so that, the person behind me knows, oh, this makes a lot of sense, instead of just doing coin or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And so yeah, this is Python. If you've never seen project scripts, you can define your so you gotta define your function and print our typical hello world, right? So then we can return. So it's a very basic function that actually, if we save that, this is how I like to test scripts most of the time, is by using the script console. And I can come over here, can right click and copy that path. And now we should be able to paste that in there and execute this. And it's going to print out that hello world. So we can create scripts in here and then use the script console to test those. So that's what I'm going to do, create some API scripts that I've actually already created. Oops, I clicked on a link. So we're going to go ahead and copy all of these scripts. I have like 3 or 4 scripts that I'm using and they're really pretty basic. Coinbase has made this almost too easy to do. So I'm going to go ahead and paste this in and get rid of all of that. And so that didn't really paste super well. So I'm going to go here and do a shift tab to bring all that back a little bit. Now we should be good. So you'll notice once I pasted all those in there, now we have all these different functions. So what I've done is sometimes you'll have different types of URLs, sometimes you'll have different types of headers, and I like to put those in a function. Now, I should say this is probably not the best way to do API calls, but this is a very simple way to do them. And so that's the reason why I'm doing it now. So I don't have a ton of things to explain, but you can do classes, you can do API endpoints and that kind of stuff with the web dev module. But This is just a very, very basic example of calling a script or calling an API from a script project here. Project script. Yeah. So what these functions do is I'm going to get my base URL and I'm going to return that. I'm going to get my header and I'm going to return my header values. These down here are a little bit different. So you'll notice on this one, get raw candles. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm specifying the ID. So that's the ID of the coin. Specifying the URL that I want to go to. So I'm getting that base URL, right? This function up here. And then I'm appending products plus my ID plus candle. So I'm getting all the Bitcoin candles. And then the final thing that we need to specify in this function is the granularity. At least that's what I call it. You can call it like the time base, but that was like the 15-minute, the hour, the 4-hour, like what kind of candles do you want to get? And that's pretty much all you need. And so what I'm gonna do is just use the system.net.http client get, and I'm passing in the header and the params and the URL. And I'm gonna return that and have a response, convert that to JSON. And if I don't have a good response, then I'm gonna print out RIP. And then finally, because I need to massage these candles a little bit to work with my chart, I'm actually kind of massaging those and putting them inside of a JSON payload. So again, if I call this guy, it's going to call that function I just walked through, my get raw candles, which is up here, right? It's going to go through that, make the call, return my candles, and then I'm going to loop through all those candles that I got, 4 candle in candles. I'm going to specify what, just kind of name what those candles are. The date, timestamp, low, high, open, and close. Those are different parts of that candle that I was talking about. And there you go. And then I have one last one here, and this one's just going to return, it's a get the ticker. So it's going to get kind of the current value. There's like current volume. There's a bunch of different parameters. And if you're interested in more in like what is possible with this Coinbase API, they actually have, and I don't know if you guys can post this in the chat or something or whatever. I don't know. But you could just type in like Coinbase API docs or something. It should take you to this. But this is where you can see like this is the get product candles. This is specifying how the data is going to get returned and the request information that you need to specify. So you notice here, like this is the URL, coinbase.com, products, product ID, and candles. So it gives you all the information that you're going to need here to be able to understand what these API calls are for. Now, Derek, you'd mentioned earlier, like, well, is this all free? Yes, it's all free because they want you to exchange money on their API, right? That's how they make money. So the only thing is, if you wanted to like buy and sell Bitcoin or whatever, you'd have to create an account, like I said. So some of those types of piece of information. You can even see underneath like profiles. You can create a profile. You can transfer funds between profiles. There's like a whole bunch of different things you can do. Transfers, like you can transfer from your bank to Coinbase or Coinbase to your bank. So a lot of different things that are possible with this. But yeah, so that's a little bit about the docs there. You can dig into those a little bit more. So what I want to do is save this, and I'm just going to call this get chart handles just to verify that this is actually working here. Let's go to the script console, get rid of that guy. Paste that one in. I guess I didn't explain this. This granularity equals 3600 is the actual, it allows you to specify kind of a default value. So I can leave it like this, or because I did an equals in there, I can actually pass nothing in and it's going to use that 3600 as its kind of default value. So that's kind of a nice way to do that. So I'm gonna execute this. Let's see what happens. Fingers crossed. Sweet, it worked. It's always interesting on live television. I'll call it television. So yeah, so you can see we have our date, our timestamp, our high, our low, close, and open, and all of that's wrapped inside of this this dictionary. So we have a list of dictionaries of every single candle for the last, in the hour time frame that we specify. And I think if you don't specify a start date and end date, you make it good. It brings back 300 candles, I want to say. That's all documented in the API. And then another thing we can do just to test it really quick, I'm going to come down here to the bottom, grab the ticker, copy path, and I'm going to test this guy really quick too. Execute. And there we go. So it's bringing back volume, how many people are trading, trade ID, price, asking time, a bunch of different pieces of information currently that that's going on with Bitcoin. So yeah, I guess that's project scripting. That's APIs in a very whirlwind nutshell. And that's how you can call, or I should say, bring in different pieces of information from other systems. That's what I love about Ignition, is that it's a traditional HMI SCADA platform, right? That's what it was born out of. But you have things like this where it's built-in functions to call APIs, databases. Like it's the possibilities are endless. I'm pulling in Coinbase data into an HMI SCADA application. Like it's pretty cool. So I love APIs, interfacing, and bringing data together. So it gets me excited. I'm totally a nerd. I know.
We know.
All right, so now that I have that data in there, I'm bringing that data in. Let's show that, let's display that data. So I actually kind of cheated here. Yeah, I know. I created a template and I created a candlestick view already. And this is actually at the XY chart here. I've just specified the type. Where is it at? I think it's on the series, maybe. Yeah, on the candlesticks, you can render it. Typically, this comes up as a line, right? This is the XY chart, it's a line render. But this is actually a built-in function. You can change this to candlestick.
Oh.
Then you have to kind of massage some of these different series and information and whatnot. It was actually a step-by-step process. And I just Googled it and found candlesticks with XY chart ignition. There you go. So it's going to give you example. I just followed these 15, 16 steps and configured it to be a candlestick chart instead of a XY chart. So that's pretty cool. I didn't realize that until last week. Actually, shout out to Yuri. He told me about it. I was like, oh, sweet. And it works really well, actually. Surprisingly better than I thought it was going to. Just because Ignition isn't really meant for candlesticks, but it works great. So I'll throw this to you guys. I don't know if that's the way to do this.
I can put that
Just
in
Google it,
chat
throw it
as
in there.
well.
You got it?
Yeah, I've got it.
Cool. All right. So what I did is basically automatically kind of formatted this and everything good to go. And so I just created a view, embedded view that I made the parameters. And this is all I need to do is pass my candlestick data into this parameter. We should be good to go. So let's go ahead and do that. Jump back to my my Bitcoin tracker. Uh-oh, what happened here? It's taking a second. The RAM on this server is not built for designing, so this may be interesting. We shall see. So I'm going to create an embedded view, throw this on there, and I want to grow shrink this, consume the rest of the page. I do also want to create a kind of a label at the top that's going to say like Bitcoin and the current price. So I'm going to throw that up there. I'm going to, I think the first thing I want to do is actually bind that to my API call. So I'm going to go into, let's do property or expression binding. This is one way that I kind of, if you want to do a periodic binding and a refresh, I'm just going to do a now, and then I'm going to do a 301. So that's 5 minutes, 60 milliseconds times 5 is 301. And then actually, this is a good point to bring up. You can't continually peg Coinbase or else they'll cut you off. So you only have 5. You have to, I forget what the limit is, but essentially what I came out to me in my mind is I just got to make one call every 5 minutes and I should be good to go. So that's 5 minutes every time it's going to refresh. There's other ways that you can set up like incoming data essentially as a stream. and then filter out only the data that you want, kind of on that API endpoint with the web dev module. But this is just a way that's, it updates every 5 seconds. That's enough for all intents and purposes here. So I'll add a script transform. And what I want to do is I want to get my ticker, use my function call, see if it's still on the notepad. I don't know. Jump back to copy that. Now this should return the ticker, and then that's executing correctly. So, and then I'm going to do ticker. We can just access this information via, just with JSON. So this is going to be price, I believe. Let's see if, yeah, that's what I want. And then what I'm going to do is, let's see, I'm going to add transform. We'll do so really quick here. Do a format. I'm going to go to my currency option. That's going to automatically format that to it like $. Add another transform. You could do this all with script, but it's just much easier to click all this information. Then I do Bitcoin. Let's do current Bitcoin price. And then I think I'm actually going to do like a dash. And then plus string, cast that to a string. And that gives us what we want, I would say. Looks pretty good. Go hit OK. And there you go. We're bringing in live data from Coinbase onto a perspective screen. It's literally that easy. And then I want to kind of format this a little bit more. Throw that into the, I don't want to do the whole screen. I think I have to create a style here, actually. Text, size, weight, text align, center. No, I'm kind of running out of hitting that hour mark, so I'm trying to speed up here. We'll go to 20 pixels. That's tiny. We'll do 30 pixels. Yeah, looks good. Okay. And then the last thing that I want to do here is I want to update this embedded view to my templates. So Candlestick template. I'm going to do a these parameters, do a sync and reset. And now all I need to do is bind this to my Candlestick chart or script. Sorry. And I'm going to do the same thing. Actually, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to come up here. If you haven't done this before, it's super handy. You can copy binding and paste binding. And then I'm just going to massage it a little bit here. Yeah, I said massage.
It's a lot of massaging going on. All this data and stuff.
I know.
So you're using 2 different scripts there, so you can use those 2 scripts within the 5-minute time. It's not like one script sent every 5 minutes.
I don't know. I haven't got cut off yet, so.
Okay. All right.
I would have to dig into
Should
the
we find
deets of
out?
the. Yeah. But that's what the Coinbase API is for. I'm gonna get rid of. Actually, I think I can just put this all into the return. Get rid of that. Just have one line, and then I'm gonna get rid of all these transforms. There we go. There's our data coming in. We'll hit OK. Actually, let's hit apply. See what happens. Oh, I need to put this on a data parameter. Dang it. Control Z. Yeah. Actually, Control Z again. Control Z. Crap. Let's just get rid of this. Get rid of this. I'm just gonna put it. Let's go back to the original here. Do. Put that on there. Expand that out.
I guess when you're doing this, maybe we should add just a small disclaimer. Just that obviously with trading Bitcoins and alternate cryptocurrencies, you have your potential rewards and obviously you can have risks. So
There you go.
it is not suitable
We're
for
not
everyone.
liable for your losses.
If you're looking to invest, you should definitely, consult an independent financial or professional advisor. So please don't go and buy a bunch of stuff just because it's low. I just wanted to
Although it
throw
is
that
really
out.
low right now, and I would advise you to buy it.
Oh no.
Buy low,
But
sell
I'm
high.
liable.
But yes, just as
Alright,
long as
so
people
it's
are aware,
Russian-
don't take our advice. Or do. But we're not liable.
Whatever you want to do, it's your life.
You're adults with the money.
Most of you.
Most of yeah. Most of us.
Speaking for myself.
I feel
Mhm.
attacked.
Alright, so now, fingers crossed here. Man, I hope this works.
Fingers
Oh,
crossed.
there it is.
Hey.
Sweet. So let's go ahead and save that. Cue YouTube video intro.
Yes.
All right. So now, I mean, we got our navigation going, and now if we switch to this, we have our current Bitcoin
Oh.
price up there, and oh man, those labels look terrible. Let's go back and change that one thing. Let's make this just add a container style on that. That's
Sure.
gonna make it show up so much better. So let's jump back to that really quick. On the root container of our Bitcoin tracker, we're just gonna use the same class again, container. There it is. All right, so now let's save that. We'll pop back over to here. We got a welcome to a new perspective. And then if we navigate
Boy.
over, it's gonna bring in the current Bitcoin price
Look
and then
at
our
that.
candlestick charts of all
Nice.
that information. So I think this is going back to 6/18, which is 12 days ago. So if we bring up a similar chart here, go back 12 days ago, 6/18 right there. So that's pretty, I mean, that's pretty much the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
look at
between
that.
the two. So there you go. We're bringing in live ignition, live Bitcoin data into ignition, showing it on the XY chart. Everything's built into ignition. Pretty cool stuff.
Ignition
All
can do
free.
anything.
Literally.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I
Clap,
was
clap.
like I said, you can
Claps
even
in
like
chat.
hover over this and see the prices and whatnot. Pretty cool.
Oh, that's really
wow.
cool.
Yeah.
That's
It
awesome.
blew my mind at how like well this worked just out of the box. I thought I was gonna have to bring in like another component or something with a module or whatever, but it's pretty good. As you can see, we're really far down right now.
So then, just a question: if somebody wanted to track a different cryptocurrency, obviously it
Yeah.
wouldn't be too hard to change that.
Yeah,
make it
and
more
actually,
dynamic.
this is some of the stuff I've done on the side of myself, but
Mhm.
actually, I'll be able to show that. See if this works.
Cryptobot.
I think I might actually be broken right now.
No
Shoot,
worries.
well, let's just see. Yeah, so that's kind of working. So you can, like, what I've done
Oh.
is you can change like the Bitcoin, and I have different analytics going on to kind of determine buy sell analytics, and you can switch it to different stuff. So you know you can change, you can put in here like Bitcoin or Ethereum or Doge or whatever you want,
Mhm.
and then I've created some technical analysis indicators to determine those buy sell events. I'm not actually trading Bitcoin at this point because it's a little scary, but that's the eventual goal at some point.
Nice.
Very nice. Cool.
Claps from
you
Flexware
go.
Casey.
That's
Chat.
me. Put the clap in
Oh, yeah.
chat.
Oh, there's no clap emojis. Oh no.
Yeah. Clap with a big C. It's a BTTV amount that I've added for the channel.
Oh, no. Any questions from the chat?
Hey.
No question.
That's about it. We've ran out of time at this point.
We sure did.
I
was
mean,
a
you,
lot.
yeah, you basically already did a recap for us.
Well, I
well.
could do it again if you want me to.
Yeah.
Or we could just end it. That's fine too. Doesn't matter.
I mean, we kind of did it, I guess, if you want to do.
Sure. So, a real quick recap. We
Sure.
added some flavor down here on the taskbar.
Mhm.
Changed the styles on these guys. Added the navigation between the two icons. And created a pretty cool chart here. And obviously, you could make it render differently and come up more quickly. Actually, you can put this in like a tag, for example, and you don't have to query all the time when you're navigating around on the pages. So that works a little bit better. But yeah, live data from Coinbase using
Very
the
cool.
APIs. Yeah.
Very, very cool. Well, yeah, if anyone has any questions or suggestions, certainly let us know. I'm not seeing anything right now,
Perfect.
which is good.
You
I
didn't want to
guess.
answer any, did you?
That's all right. No, we don't. No questions allowed.
Wow.
Wow.
I guess.
All right. Well, if there's no
yeah.
questions, yeah, suppose we can wrap this up. And
Sounds good.
thanks,
Okay,
Reese, for
okay.
coming on for another show.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
really
for sure.
appreciate it.
Developing
I
this for
enjoy
us.
doing it. It's a blast. It's always a good
Yeah.
time when you get to show off some of the stuff you've been working on, whether it's customer projects or personal projects. It's the best part about it.
Oh yeah,
So.
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate your time. And next time, what is the date? That's going to be July 28th, I believe. It's going to be episode 3, the last Thursday of July. It will not be Reese next time. We're going to have Mia developing what are we calling this thing? A box? Some kind of suggestion box.
Box.
Some
Developing
kind of
a box.
suggestion. Yes, a suggestion box for you guys to drop suggestions on what we should develop. So
That's
Yeah.
cool.
that'll be episode 3, and I think we're gonna build it into what we have already started here. So keep compounding these features.
Yeah, and then also just a reminder, if you haven't seen any of our previous episodes, which as of right now is just one, you can go ahead and check on our YouTube, which I will put in chat unless Derek is going to. There it is.
There it is.
So you can check that out there. And then also for any upcoming events, we have our events link here, which is right on our website, which you can also see then when our next stream is too, once that's posted. And also just a reminder that there are still some seats left at the in-person training that will be held at our Fishers, Indiana headquarters. If you're
I'll be helping
interested.
with that, actually.
And Reese is helping with that.
There you go.
Very awesome.
You can learn how to get Bitcoin. Or just watch
Disclaimer.
this video. Either one.
Or just watch this video. And if you're in here right now and you haven't already given us a follow, there's no pressure, but if you want to get a go live notification, that's the best way to do it. We would really appreciate that.
Pressure.
There's no pressure.
We're pressuring.
You'll get a little
Follow.
notification on your phone, and it'll tell you when we're live, or an email if that's what you prefer. Yeah.
Follow us here. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook,
Yep.
YouTube,
All of our
everywhere.
socials are in the about section down below.
Hooray.
So I guess until next time, right, Derek?
That's right.
Go on
That's
developing.
all I got. Keep on developing. Thanks, guys.
Stay smart.
Thank you, Reese. Stay
Yep.
smart.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.